6th grade, I told anyone who would listen to me that I hated girls. I said they were creepy and boring, and I said I would never like girls, and at the ripe old age of 12, declared myself a confirmed bachelor. Secretly, of course, there was a girl. Her name was Daphne Mills, and she wore purple corduroy overalls and had short silver hair. She was a national record-holding swimmer, a fact that put her miles ahead of any other girl in my rinky-dink little East Texas school. Sometime during the spring of 1975, she vanished for 5 long, agonizing days, an entire school week. Had she moved? It was only after she reappeared the following Monday with a neck full of gold medals that I realized the horrible, awful, humiliating truth that I was hopelessly in love with her. School let out for summer, and I spent my time thinking up some killer opening lines to say to her when I saw her in the fall. I wondered if she ever thought about me. I still hadn't admitted to any of my friends that I liked girls, much less was dreadfully in love. On the first day of 7th grade, Daphne walked into class sporting braces and a broken arm. Was there anything that kicked more ass in junior high than braces and a cast? All my carefully planned cool things to say were forgotten. I went home from school that day and committed the most shameful of shameful acts. That is, writing the words, "I love Daphne," in bubble letters on a piece of paper, and then taking it deep into the woods and burning it. By 8th grade, my friends were bugging me about this liking girls situation practically every day. Something had to give. But I couldn't bring myself to tell anyone about my double secret. I couldn't announce my heterosexuality without also confirming what a dipshit, lost lover I was. That October, I was riding home on the football bus after practice. The conversation got a little slow, and my friends began to needle me. "Why don't you have a girlfriend?" they said. "Lots of girls at the school would like to go with you." I wasn't in the mood for more lying, so I said, "Yeah, name one." They took the bait and began to shout names. Betsy, Rebecca, and Sandra. But like the Jedi loser I was, I deflected all of their attempts with words like, "She hates me," "She's gross," and whatever. Then one of them said, "How about Jenna Mills, Daphne's sister? She told me she thinks you're funny. I bet she would go with you in a second." I wasn't ready for this. Daphne's cute little 7th grade sister? My brain hiccuped, and I wasn't able to parry their attack with any real force, so I blurted out, "Oh, I bet she wouldn't." "Then bet, asshole," one of them said, which was quickly seconded by several others. I was cornered. "Sure," I said, "let's bet." We hammered out a wager that by the end of lunch the following day, I had to ask Jenna to be my girlfriend. If she said yes, then I lost the bet, and I would owe 8 different bettors 25 cents each. If she said no, I would win, and they would owe me. I got home from school that afternoon, and my head was a mess. I needed time to process all of this. But before I could think about it, the phone rang. It was Daphne. Yes, she called. She had heard about the bet and was wild about the idea. She said Jenna really liked me and wanted to be my girlfriend, but that she didn't want me to lose the bet. So she was going to say no tomorrow at lunch, but then I was supposed to call her back after school and ask again for real. Then she would say yes. "Sure," I said, "no problem." I hung up the telephone, and if I'd been a smoker, I would have fired up a menthol. By the time I got on the bus the following morning, every kid who knew anything about junior high politics knew about the bet and wanted to talk to me about it. I felt like I was being chased from classroom to classroom by pint-sized, pimply-faced paparazzi. There were microphones out and bulbs flashing. Understand, I had enough game to realize that becoming Jenna's boyfriend would not only solve my girl-liking problem, it would also get me closer to Daphne. Kind of like brother-in-law, right? Not only that, Jenna was cute and lots of fun. But the dark thundercloud of the bet and all the kids knowing about it had me thinking about fleeing the school grounds and never coming back. During lunchtime, there were some nerds who played football with a paper cup back behind the school cafeteria. None of us real jocks would have been caught dead playing with their kiddie little game. But I liked a couple of them, and from time to time would stop by just to shoot the breeze. So with 10 minutes to go before the bet deadline, I headed there. I needed to be with kids who knew nothing about my predicament. The first thing one of them said was, "Hey, ain't you supposed to be asking Jenna Mills to go with you right now?" I looked off. I was thinking of not. Dude, seriously? She's fine. And Daphne says she likes you. I would ask her too, but he trailed off and I got the picture. He was a geek, and it probably just wouldn't work out. But me, I was just pissing my life away. I sighed and turned around and trudged to the other side of the school where the cool kids hung out. I walked up, and there were tons of 7th and 8th graders milling around. Jenna was surrounded by a few handmaidens, including her sister, who shot me a glance that said, "Don't screw this up." For a couple of minutes, I just stood there, ignoring my friends, and gathered myself. Then the bell rang, and everyone turned and looked at me. I took a breath and said, "Hey, Jenna, come here a minute." As she walked over, a huge circle of kids formed around us, 75 strong. It was like some ABC after-school special nightmare. "Yeah? Will you go with me?" I remember exactly how she looked. The light freckles, the strawberry blonde hair, a lime green tank top. She paused for drama, cocked her head, and looked up at the sky as if my asking her this question had never occurred to her. And she looked me in the eye and said, "No, I don't think so." The crowd swooped in and pandemonium broke out. Everyone had something to say, and quarters were shoved into my hands. I was swept up in the tide, away from Jenna into my next classroom, where Daphne waited and said with a smile, "See, I told you. But you call her tonight and ask, okay? She's counting on it." I said I would, but I didn't. To this day, I don't know why, I just didn't. As a matter of fact, I don't ever remember speaking to Jenna again. She and Daphne changed schools at the end of the year, and my one true love and her sweet little sister vanished from my life forever. But I won the bet. $2, right? More importantly, never again was I asked the question, "Why don't you like girls?" It just kind of faded away. Furthermore, my junior high love life mismanagement gave me a massive amount of confidence. If I could survive the crazy situation of having to ask a girl to be my girlfriend in front of 75 people, I could do anything. I grew up. I started a kick-ass rock and roll band and raised a family. Daphne kept swimming, and as far as I know, never found out about my crush. To me, she became a character in a story I tell to my friends to make them laugh. And Jenna? 3 years ago, I sent a Facebook friend request to her with a little message that said, "Hey, long time no see. Do you remember the time in junior high that I asked you to be my girlfriend on a bet?" She declined my friend request and to the date of this writing has never responded.